happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, however it is that you sing it. This is my little 4th of July celebration on PM Insights. I'm Patrick Mooney, and this is PM Insights. It's PM Insights at yahoo.com. PM Insights dash talk.com. I got a website going. It's under construction still, but it's at least I've now picked out a website. It's PM Insights dash, not slash, dash talk.com. I wanted that .com, so I had to put the dash in there, to get the .com, because PM Insights was taken already, blah blah blah. So and .com is like, everyone remembers that one, but I had to put the dash in there because if I was going to leave it out, just do PM Insights talk. It looked like, if you read it, it looked like PM Insight Stalk. And I thought, well, I don't want any kind of trouble, don't want to be accused of anything right off the bat. So, all right. If you can hear, the neighborhood is all kinds of fireworks and firecrackers and cherry bombs going on. And I got all my 3 little dogs under the desk here, huddled at my feet. And some of them are under the desk, one's under my feet. 2 of them were, they don't like thunder. They don't like the fireworks and all that kind of stuff, so they're a little scared, a little spooked. I don't blame them. But it sounds like a war zone here, but it does every year. Tomorrow will even be worse, so whatever. It's a holiday, it's how we celebrate it. This is what it's about. So my little thing is, I did a little trivia, history of how the July 4th and how it came about and interesting things. And I think I consider myself a patriotic individual. I think partly because this is not about this, but my birthday is July 4th. So it kind of like probably made me be a little more patriotic. I don't know. Maybe it did. I don't know. But because I always thought fireworks, until I was probably 4 or 5, I thought they were for me, and, oh well. Disappointment. Life's rough. But, so here's some little facts I thought I'd share with you all and just talk. The Declaration of Independence was approved on July 2nd, 1776. We were already at war with Britain. It was brought to us by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia. And the second, they approved it, and it was, everyone agreed, to declare our independence from Britain and the rule of their monarch, George III. But then it was, like I said, it was probably like a letter, a proposal. They wanted to, write it out real nice and, presentable. Make it look official and presentable. And so they assigned a committee of 5, and 2 of the 5 were Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. Supposedly, Thomas Jefferson did most of the work, so, on it, whatever. So they brought it back the 4th, and that's when they decided, okay, this is Declaration of Independence Day. And John Adams disagreed. He thought it should be the 2nd, and he even wrote his wife a letter the day after they signed on the 2nd, saying, how it would be celebrated, and, he was pretty accurate about, parades. He says it should be solemnized. I almost said sodomized. Ooh. Sorry. Another show. The Day of Deliverance should be commemorated by solemn acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations. From one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore. And it has, because every year, that's how they started celebrating it. We still do it today. Illuminations, fireworks, bonfires, barbecues, parades, so it's, his prediction was accurate on that, but just the date, they said, and, I don't blame them for the 4th. It was finally, it was done. This declaration was done completely. It was on paper, it was official, and it was going to be sent, and it was, but, supposedly nobody signed it on the 4th. I don't know why. But suppose they say that there's always been a dispute as to who really signed it on the 4th, but supposedly the only one that's, some back checks or information would say that John Hancock was the only signer on the 4th. You go to another couple of resources and you get this thing that because John Hancock was the president of the Congress and at that time, and he was there with his secretary of the Congress, Secretary of the Congress, Charles Thompson. So I guess they both signed it that day. So either way, John Hancock, I'm sure he signed it first, between the two of those, or he signed it himself on the. So I guess that's why it's the phrase about but you're John Hancock because he was the first signer. So anyway, that's that. And just one more fact. Actually, nobody else signed it until August 2nd, 1776. So there was the rest of the group, the rest 50 some of them signed it on August 2nd. So nobody signed it actually. Hardly anyone signed it at all. I don't know why. They're out celebrating the 4th, I guess. Another thing, they picked the day. Benjamin Franklin was into astrology, not the regular house astrology. He was like the planets and the stars, that kind of thing. And I heard this story years ago. Someone told me when I was, early 80s. Another story, but short story. I was I was, one day I was going to my parents' house. I was parked on, this is going back, this just relates to, I've heard about this story about Ben Franklin and how he chose the 4th through astrology. And there was 5 planets that were lined up, and that was the day. Now, whether they lined up and he knew that was going to happen, or he held off for the 4th, let's just name it that, but that was, so I went to a few astrology sites. And I went to some actual non-astrology informational sites, and everybody said, yeah, that was supposedly true. He picked the day, not picked the day, but he knew that there were 5 planets aligned, and that's how he chose, because it was supposed to be the luckiest day. The luckiest day. Now, I was told this years ago, back to the story, I was on my way to my parents' house. This is like in 1982. Ange and I had just got to Normandy, but I was still working downtown. But I was going to my parents that day. I stopped at Broadway and Belmont, parked my car on Broadway, where there's a bar there called Spin now there. I parked my car there, ran across the street, got a burger, blah, 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 drove off with my parents. Now, on the corner there where Spin is now, there used to be an antique shop and a restaurant all together called Victoria House. Well, supposedly Ange knew the owner of the Victoria House. I knew the owner of the Victoria House. He was, customers of ours and all that kind of stuff. So, Ange's known him for years. But anyway, one of his waiters was apparently, he was changing his battery for his car, parked near my car. Now, I didn't see anybody, but he came out and boom, battery was gone. He must have left it on the sidewalk. I don't know what he did, but the battery was taken, and then he saw my car driving away, took my license plate, so that's how I got into it. I mean, I didn't see anybody, I didn't see a battery, I wasn't looking for a battery, I didn't need a battery, so, I wasn't aware of all this. So I come home a couple nights later on a Friday or Saturday night, and there's 2 gentlemen in our lobby by our we lived on the first floor, waiting. So, they were dark suits, the great top coats and all that. They were detectives. And they were looking for me. They needed to take me down for questioning. Ooh, take it down for questioning. Because the guy thought I stole his battery. Because he saw the battery gone, me driving away, and license plate, boom. Even the cop was like, I know you didn't do it, which I didn't, okay. I think it was just eventually just dropped. I forget. But the cop told me because another time, there's a story about this cop too, okay? I know another story about this. It's so funny how life is. So anyway, he saw my license, of course, and he says, oh, you're going to born on July 4th. He says, so am I. You know why they picked it for Independence Day? Because they thought it was the luckiest day of the year. Now, he told me that back in 82, and I thought, well, that's interesting. I don't know if it's true, but it was interesting if it was, and so I never really, but I checked on it, and there were a lot of reports to say it's true, so. That was one reason that they decided to pick on July 4th. So, another tidbit of Independence Day and my life. I should write a book. Who knows? And coincidentally, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were really good friends. They were business associates early in their life together and working. Knowing each other, and then something happened, and boom, they were bitter enemies. They never spoke again. They never spoke again. They were bitter enemies to the very, very end until the day they died. And they both died on the same day. They both died on July 4th, 1826. Wow. Okay, and then 5 years later, James Monroe, who didn't sign the Declaration of Independence, he didn't sign on it, but he was our 5th president. He died on July 4th, 5 years later. So I don't know how lucky of a day that made it for them. So I don't know, Ben Franklin, I bet you he wasn't flying his kite that day. Wouldn't have been very lucky, I don't think. And we only had one president is born on July 4th, and that's Calvin Coolidge, our 30th president, one of our finest presidents. Ugh. So anyway, another story, another day. So it's always been that way. That's how we celebrate. That's also some things about how it was chosen for that day. And I just, it's important that we know these things because we have a wonderful, wonderful country. I know we're going through a lot of crap, but I just hope that we just finally, we are the United States of America. We need to get our shit together so that we can take care of other world issue problems that, they're not going to go away. I don't think we have to do something. We can't do it as a divided nation, or the fear-mongering, war-mongering buffoon as our president either. I don't have to say any names, but that's just it. We can't even risk. If he would win, it would be 4 years. We bite our tongue, but it's not even worth the risk to find out how it would be, because it would be horrible. The country. Oh my gosh, it'd be horrible. So the man's unstable. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give opinion, but it's my insights. These are PM insights. So, and it kind of goes with it's about family. It's about our country. Heritage. He had the nerve to call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. That is so racist. So racist. Because she claimed that she was, whatever. I mean, all my life growing up, we were told we were a 5th Native American. My dad always told us, we were. Well, my sister and I are doing Ancestry right now, and we even got our DNA done, and there's not a drop of Native American blood in us, but stories get passed down. And so he made a big deal of this. And there's this other idiot that used to be a congressman wants her to take a DNA test. What for? Gee, man, who cares? And supposedly because she used that heritage background to get into, I think it was Harvard or something, and Trump claims that it's because she's using it to benefit herself. To feel, it's to her benefit. Well, okay. Donald Trump's father came here from Germany. That's where their family's from. And they put down that they were from Sweden when he arrived in the United States. And he put off that he was Swedish for a very long time because they wanted to, they had a lot of, his father had a lot of Jewish families and people living in his apartments. And he didn't want to offend anybody that, to say he was German. So, isn't that lying about your heritage to better yourself too? I mean, he's come clean now, and that he's whatever. But don't throw a stone. Please. Think. And the other guy, it's just such a racist comment. And some other idiot. There was a rally that Trump wasn't there, but it was a Trump rally. It was held in, I forget where it was held. Someplace I wouldn't want to be, obviously. And the guy that introduced this main speaker, whoever it was, he says, "Oh, we all know Elizabeth Warren," and he does the Indian, ooh, and the crowd goes, "Oh, yeah." So funny, and it's scary. So anyway, we have a beautiful country. We need to keep it that way. We need to be united. We need to be free, and we need to be a little more tolerant towards other people, other things, just like the preamble of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if I choose to be, because let's just, that's beautiful. It's there for everybody. And it says by their creator. It doesn't say God. Whoever your creator, whether you're a Muslim or you're Jewish, you're Christian, you're Buddhist, whoever you consider to be your creator. Native Americans, it was the sun. So we just have the freedom of that. It doesn't say that, these religious. So anyway, speaking of family and all that, we had a family reunion on Saturday, yesterday, and it was just so nice. I started going, I hadn't been to a lot of these reunions and stuff because I worked the weekends and I couldn't go, and now that I'm not working, I can, I'm retired now. Disabled, but retired. No, I'm retired, basically. I can't work. So that's why I'm doing this. I need something to do, just to, talk and get my point out there, and whoever wants to hear it. If you want to PM Insight to yahoo.com, let me know. You want to talk about something? You want me to talk about something? Let's hear it. I want to hear everyone's input, insights. The opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So we had a family reunion. It was so nice. And I started going maybe 5 years, 6 years ago. I've been to a few on and off, but I've worked in the bar business, for 30 some years, and always worked weekends and nights. So it was hard to go to a lot of family functions. And I kind of regret that in a way, but then again, I don't, because I loved the job I was doing and the work I was doing and people I met and got to know and everything. It was my lifestyle. It was my career. So it's nice to go now and, get caught up, and it's nice to see the family, cousins that you've known since you were little kids, and just aunts, and, and we've lost a few, and you think, wow, time, but so every day is important. Every day is special, especially when it comes to your family and your loved ones. Because family can mean just a loved one, a good friend. But, it was great. Had a good time. I enjoyed it. And I just love my family now. It was so great. A lot of them came to our wedding, which, I was a little nervous about. But they were like, hey, listen, it's no big deal. They found out about through Facebook. And then I invited them. It was great. So it was nice. I had to see everybody. And I feel comfortable. I can be like more myself now with everybody. And it's, and I'm not, so it kind of held me back before, too. Because I didn't want everyone to know, if it made someone uncomfortable or someone else, but it works out nice. God bless y'all. I love y'all. So anyway, okay, that's it. I'm done for the day. It's 4th of July. I've got to eat something. Doing laundry, and I vacuumed. I cleaned the bird cage. Happy birthday. No, just kidding. You know what? I really need, because I had to stop and film because this set fell, during my filming. So I had to get right at the beginning. So I just started over again, but you can see it move, and it kind of takes away the illusion of how this is a permanent, handmade, designed set. There are panels with curtains from Walmart. But what I need for my birthday, I think I need an iron. This side's not so bad, but this side looks really, I need an iron. I probably got one around the house, but maybe I should get a new one. Anyway, everybody have a great weekend. Please be careful. This is one of the holidays. There's the most alcohol consumption. So be careful if you're partying, drinking. If you're grilling, be careful. If you're driving, traveling, be careful. And if you're doing fireworks, be extra careful. We did it one time and it was fun, but I wouldn't do it again. Maybe 3 years ago, I worked in Indiana, so I brought some fireworks home. I was so nervous. Border. You got fireworks in your trunk, don't you? You're going to Illinois. I thought it was good. But it was fun. We did it out the front, but those things, they're in a cylinder-like thing. And if it doesn't go off, you have the temptation to look down at it. And then you're like, no, that wouldn't be good because, blow your head off. And a guy just Friday lost his hand in Chicago. And he's talking to people about, don't do this. He lost his hand. Because they showed the test dummies, that with fireworks, how they react. And actually, they showed one of the test dummies that was looking over the thing, and boom, it blew his head off. But see, I knew. So I'll just let everyone else do it. Leave it to the professionals. So everyone have a good time. Like I say, be careful, and God bless America. And I will see you around like a donut.